Hello everyone, this is part 11 of What If Naruto Had the Ninetails and the Shinigami sealed inside him, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto woke up and looked around at the area he had arrived in. He saw absolutely nothing but sand dunes and in the distance a white tower. Naruto stood up coughing a bit as he brushed the sand off of his clothes. He looked around and felt the wind whip him hard. Naruto started to walk, then felt a cold chill come down his spine as he began to sense a strange presence which wasn't a Shinigami. Naruto shook off the feeling and began to walk. His memory was fuzzy from the trip through the garganta, but that didn't matter now. He was confused and worried, thinking Sasuke might have dropped him off in some random direction and he went to go somewhere else. Something tells me that White Tower will give me the answers I need, Naruto said to himself and then began to quickly run in its direction. The tower seemed to get no closer than when he started. He began to get aggravated and thought he would never get there. He then felt a strong Ryatsu a few miles from him and he saw some figures in the distance. After Naruto came a bit closer, they disappeared. He realized they were Shinigami and they must have flash-stepped. Naruto groaned at his stupidity and then flash-stepped 5 times. The tower got closer but he couldn't flash-step directly to it. He had realized that he couldn't concentrate on the location of that tower to get close to it. Anger was welled inside him and he just wanted to explode from anger at Sasuke's choice in action. He began to flash-step and his journey got a bit quicker. He had found the figures again. The flash-stepped and accidentally bumped into one. Naruto knocked him over accidentally. He rolled to the right and heard the figures pull out their weapons. He was surprised that only one was a Shinigami and the two were something different. Naruto got up, then looked over and saw a light brown-skinned man with a powerful fist that was black with red stays, and to Naruto's surprise he found a Quincy. There was also an angered orange-haired Soul Reaper who already had his sword pointed at Naruto, ignoring the fact that he was a captain. Naruto stared at the boy and after close examination he found that they were close, around the same age. "What's a Shinigami like you doing over here at Huko Mundo?" the Shinigami asked. Naruto blinked and had a puzzled look on his face. "I don't think he knows what we're talking about, but it doesn't look like he means us no harm. Maybe he's here to help," the Quincy suggested, which made the Shinigami lower his guard. "Well, are you?" the Shinigami asked. "I'm here for my own reason, tracking down an Arrancar that is pushing my buttons, so to say. I followed him in a garganta and arrived here. I don't know what you're doing here, but I assure you I don't mean you any harm unless you pose a threat to the Soul Society," Naruto stated and crossed his arms looking at the three. A stinging feeling rushed through him as the wind picked up a bit. The burn from the right side of his eye wasn't fully healed. He remembered Sakura nagging at him to put the cover on, but he decided not to. The thought of Sakura made his anger shoot up again, but he held it back so the three didn't think he was going to attack him. The four decided to jog towards the White Tower, which was known as Las Noches. It had been hours before they got remotely close and by then Naruto learned all of the names. Chad, Yuru and Ichigo. He had to call them by Sado, Ashida, and Kurosaki since he didn't know them well. When they appeared in the area of the gigantic White Tower, a stunning Ryatsu shot into Naruto and the others' senses. 3 figures landed in front of them and after the dust 3 Arrancars appeared, but to Naruto's knowledge they weren't the elite Naruto had heard about. It wasn't until the dust fully cleared when he realized one Arrancar, which made his eyes widened at the sight. "Kimimaro," Naruto gasped, saying in shock, knowing for sure he ked him. "Surprised to see me? You didn't think you could K me with my own bones, did you?" Kimimaro shouted. He had some battle scars on his chest and body and he was still into his released form, basically his curse-marked form. There were also sachets on his midsection. "You know this guy?" Ichigo asked, looking over at Naruto. "Yeah, one of Orochimaru's Arrancars, to say," Naruto said, looking over at the red-headed Shinigami. "Me and Sado can take care of the 2, that leaves 1," Yuru said. Naruto looked over at Kimimaro, who stared at him in somewhat of a testy mood. The captain looked back over to the Quincy and said, "I'll take him, no problem." He then grinned and unsheathed his sword. "Ichigo, go," Chad said and watched as the Shinigami flash stepped away. The two Arrancar pursued them and made it so each fight was evenly spaced. Naruto watched them fight a bit interested on Chad's arm technique and looking on how the Quincy maneuvered, never really seeing one before. Naruto, stop looking at him, it's time we finished this. Kimimaro said and got back to his serious tone as Naruto looked back. Very well then, Naruto said as he stepped into a stance. Naruto was the first to make his move by blitzing the Bone Man and attempting to slash at Kimimaro with short swift swings that were up close and hard to dodge. Kimimaro seemed to dodge each one, moving so fluidly it wasn't natural. Kimimaro spin kicked Naruto and knocked him back a bit, then the drill on his right hand began to spin as he thrusted it into Naruto's chest. Naruto grabbed the drill and tried to stop it, only succeeding to burn his hand. Naruto leaped up, only touching the bone drill for half a second until he slammed his foot into Kimimaru's face. Kimimaro locked his legs around Naruto as he sent bones at his back and ribs. Naruto growled and slowly slashed at Kimimaru's stat section, which hurt him greatly. The two drifted back as Kimimaro laughed and left his guard completely open. Naruto took the opportunity to condense Ryatsu around his sword and slash at his midsection once more, hard enough to s him in half. Kimimaru's laugh dropped and his eyes widened as the top half fell to the ground. Naruto looked and saw that the top half and the bottom half were connected by a spine. The bones that were on each side of the spine shot out. The bones LD Naruto in random directions with enough force to slam him into the white building. Kimimaro raised up, having his spine showing clearly with his top half up higher than before. Kimimaro swept down and attempted to thrust his drill in Naruto once more. The blonde captain crouched to the left and slashed upwards, then attempted to break free, only to see the bones have been digging deep into his skin. Naruto grasped the cable-like cords inside Naruto's body and pulled them out furiously. Kimimaro took the opportunity to dash towards Naruto as he was crouching down in pain. When Kimimaro got close enough, Naruto clutched his sword and looked up abruptly, then said, "Let your rage flow through this blade. Akaru Kitsune." After Naruto said this, a burst of chakra and Ryatsu shot out and made Kimimaro fly back and slam into the sand. Naruto's sword got longer and curved and thicker. Naruto swiped his finger across it, and once he did that it glowed red. Naruto slashed down as a wave of red energy came towards Kimimaro. "I've altered the Shikai a bit and I still don't know if I liked it so, yeah. I remember this power of yours, it was the death of me, it seems to have gotten stronger, but so have I." Kimimaro said as his body returned to normal and his spine shot out of his body and became his sword, altering to make it fierce and insanely sharp. Bones fiercely covered random areas of his body like vines as his tail grew and was a razor-sharp bone. Kimimaro then placed his hand on the sand and millions of sharp bones began to race towards Naruto. The 5th squad captain saw that there was no room to maneuver like last time, so staying above the bones was crucial. Naruto attempted to s at them, but it did nothing. He then began to run and eventually jumped up high in the air and carefully placed his feet over a bone. Naruto flash stepped over to Kimimaro and began to violently bash at Kimimaro, the power of his blade increasing to insane amounts. Naruto slashed down at his blade once more and cleared a path with the condensed red Ryatsu. Naruto landed on the clear ground and once again clashed blades with Kimimaro. Quickly the Bone Man made more bones shoot out of the ground, piercing him slightly as he jumped up on top of the bone once again. They looked at each other and Naruto extended his arm downward as a blue orb came to his hands, the Rasengan. Naruto flash stepped over to Kimimaro and shoved the Rasengan towards Kimimaro, who raised his bone drill and quickly began to spin it around. The Rasengan backfired and made Naruto slam into a bone and having his captain's robe hang him from one of the bones. "I still don't get it, how did you survive?" Naruto said, panting from the incoming exhaustion. "It's a rather interesting story. When you thrusted that kiddo into me, making me go deeper into the bone, I quickly made it turn into bone marrow and seep into me. After a few painful hours of doing so, I had became new again, but I was still in half, so I got someone to sew me back up. It seemed like I was stuck in my released form, so I decided to train on it, making it equal to a Bon Kai of you Shinigami. I had set my sights on revenge, just like how you got here, and that's where I met Sasuke." Kimimaro stopped a bit to savor the moment of Naruto's fist clenching and his teeth clench. He then continued hopping onto another bone spike, getting closer to Naruto. He had told me his fight with you a few of his early years in his Arrancar form. We have seen each other when he was with Orochimaru but never really talked, although I still wouldn't call him as a friend. Oh well, he told me how to get to you. I joined this Arrancar army and became a Fracken. Might have spelled that wrong. Once I got some more experience I became confident in ending your life just like you tried to end mine. Funny huh? When Sasuke went through the Garganta I knew you would follow him, so I camped out around the outer rim of Las Noches and waited for your arrival, and here we are, Kimimaro said and grabbed his spine sword a bit tired as he grinned. Makes sense, Naruto said, then looked over at a distance. He's become stronger, all my enemies got stronger one step ahead of what I've gotten to, even Sasuke. This is bad, especially when I'm behind enemy lines with two people who would want nothing less than to end my life. Naruto said in his mind, then grunted as a spine sword lifted his head. It's your time, Uzumaki Naruto. Kimimaro said nonchalantly, holding his ecstatic emotion. Naruto looked at Kimimaro, who began to cackle insanely and then burst into a odd laugh. It freaked Naruto out, but that feeling soon ended when he heard her unwanted voice. Kimimaro, step aside. A voice said. After careful examination by Naruto, it was Sasuke who stood on the dome of Las Noches. But you said I could K him. Kimimaro shouted, lowering his sword completely. Don't let your guard down, Naruto whispered faintly as he flipped upwards and slashed his sword in Kimimaru's direction, putting most of his energy into this attack. The red Ryatsu wave hit Kimimaro in the back hard, making him slam into the ground and slam into the white dome-like tower, but not enough to make it collapse. Kimimaro slowly got up, his head covered in blood and his back severed. He was outraged as bones shot out of his back wound and his Ryatsu shot up. Naruto noticed that his sword went back to normal. He wasn't too disappointed at that since he didn't have enough energy to hold it for much longer. Naruto was more afraid than ever as he realized his situation had grown worse. He then saw Kimimaro get blasted and fall to the ground. Naruto blinked and then safely landed on the ground and walked to the hopefully Kimimaro. He was for a fact. A beam of electricity shot straight through his heart. He looked up to see Sasuke land a few feet in front of him. You ked him, Naruto said, looking at Sasuke weirdly as the blonde-haired Shinigami sheathed his Zanpakuto. Of course, he was nothing but a pawn. I couldn't have him K you. I plan on doing that myself. Sasuke said as he appeared in front of him and punched him in the gut hard enough for him to fly to the other side and slam into a bone uprooted from one of Kimimaru's attacks. Naruto growled as the two flash-stepped and punched each other's fist, sending a sonic boom shattering most of the bones in the field. Sasuke raised his left leg and roundhouse kicked him in the temple, making him turn to the right. As he did that, Sasuke then elbowed the top of his head, making him slam into the ground. Naruto noticed the elbow and grabbed it, then spun around and kicked Sasuke back, immediately throwing a fury of punches and kicks at Sasuke, who blocked each one of them as his Sharingan shone. Sasuke grabbed one of the punches and bent his wrist completely, then kicked him in the chest to make him slam into the ground. Sasuke appeared where Naruto would land and he kneed him in the back, then grabbed him by the hair and threw him away. Naruto rolled onto the ground and lay on the soft sand for a while, his eyes half open as his hand barely touched the sand. Naruto got up and was immediately punched, then kicked and sent back to the ground. Naruto got up once more and saw Sasuke on the other side. The two dashed at each other and began to block each other's accurate kicks and punches with brute force. Thanks to Yoroiki, Naruto could read Sasuke's moves almost as good as he could. It's like he had the Sharingan but not quite. The two kept this up for a while, each trying to trick each other with random sweep kicks, back fists, or close lines. Naruto began to grow tired, sweat seeping off him as his previous wounds began to take a toll on his body. The last three moves Sasuke did hit Naruto with sly accuracy as he was then grabbed by the T and slammed headfirst into the ground. You're no match for me, Naruto. As you can see, I have grown stronger. I haven't even unsheathed my sword. Sasuke said, grinning. Neither have I, Naruto stated after coughing as he quickly unsheathed his sword and slashed his sleeve with insane speed. Sasuke looked at how fast the strike was as Naruto grinned. Sasuke pulled out his sword, which had the Uchiha emblem for a guard, a black hilt with purple diamond designs and a faded silver katana blade. The two clashed blades and began to parry each other's attacks. Naruto was better at swordsmanship than hand-to-hand combat since he usually fought with a sword. Naruto had delivered a few good SS to Sasuke by jumping up and spiraling wildly. Sasuke then disappeared, and for a moment Naruto thought he had retreated until he felt an uneasiness in his left ribs. The cut, more like a gash, was now visible as blood shot out of his wound like a medium-speed faucet. Naruto's eyes widened as he took a few steps and stumbled to the ground, placing a hand on his wound to try and stop the bleeding. Sasuke laughed, then ran at him to deliver the final blow. Naruto mumbled something as his sword turned into his released state, making his Ryatsu rise a bit but making his wound get worse. Naruto got up and slashed the air, having the red wave of Ryatsu hit Sasuke in the chest, making him fly into the tower. Naruto yelled and flash stepped toward him and clashed blades with insane force. Sasuke's eyes widened as he couldn't hold on much longer. His blade was thrown to the right of him and his chest was slashed, having his shirt come off. Naruto kicked him with the side of his foot on Sasuke's face, then put a lot of force in the kick to make him stomp on his head. Naruto jumped back and SD'd the air 3 more times, making the red waves of Ryatsu dart at him. Sasuke disappeared, then appeared behind Naruto as he spun around and clashed blades once again. The two began to fight so fast that all you could see was faded images of them trying to reset each other, and occasionally some blood fall on the sand either from AS or Naruto's wound. It had been 1 hour and they continued to fight at such a speed. Naruto held back his exhaustion, his muscles burning and his wound building up the pain inside his body. The only thing that kept him going was the anger Naruto held inside him for Sasuke, for what Sasuke has done to him. The two then landed and Naruto realized Sasuke began to slightly pant as they both had been cut up pretty bad so far. Naruto's knees began to grow weak and hard to stand on as he made his sword fall to the sand, dragging it across if he had to walk over to him and slash the Uchiha. Sasuke stood regularly but just slightly panting with little sweat sping from him. He twisted his blade so the sun would hit it and bounce off somewhere. The target was Naruto's eyes. Sasuke knew it would get his attention if he twisted it, and it did. Naruto was blinded for a second but heard Sasuke moving then disappearing. Naruto made a clone which clashed blades with Sasuke behind him as Naruto slashed at the clone in order to slash him. Sasuke drifted back then placed his hand so the palm was facing Naruto. He then said, Hado 54, Hien. After Sasuke said the kiddo, a blast of purple Ryatsu raced toward Naruto. If it touched him he would be incinerated. Bakudo 39 Enkozen. Naruto shouted after he espered his sword in the ground as a barrier of Ryatsu shot up to shield him from the attack. The barrier of condensed Ryatsu had trouble defending against such an attack but eventually it managed to do its job. Naruto then jumped up with his hand opened as he yelled out, Hado 31 Sokachoi. A red ball of energy then formed in his hand as he threw it like a baseball towards Sasuke. The kiddo gained more speed and power to it as it came closer to Sasuke. Kukentani, Sasuke faintly said as the attack disappeared, only to reappear and hit Naruto directly in the back, making him yell and fall down. A forbidden kiddo, but how? Who taught you that? Naruto asked, slowly getting up, smoke coming from Naruto's burnt back. Sasuke coughed a bit then gripped his sword tightly and said, that knowledge won't do you any good, Naruto, why ask it? Sasuke rushed at Naruto, who immediately jumped up and grabbed his sword. They clashed blades again as Naruto swiped his finger across the blade to make a red Ryatsu wave slam into Sasuke and his blade, which made him fall back. The two began to at each other, Sasuke using the Sharingan to its fullest extent and evading each attacking, knowing what Naruto would do before he knew himself. After 30 minutes of this, Sasuke started to get even more tired. Naruto fell to one knee and panted, his exhaustion really beating him down much. Naruto, we're both tired, as much as I hate to admit it, in this state we are equal, it's time to end this, I shall release my Zanpakuto and finish you off. Sasuke declared. That will be all for this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos, goodbye.